Thanks to put a smile on your face. Have a great night with your family.
Hello, Harold.
Good evening
How are
to you.
you?
I'm good.
Good. Hmm.
Hello, Harold.
All right, Mario. I hear you. I don't see you.
Now you don't see me because I want to show the cup.
Nice.
Oh, where'd you get that?
I won it in the Pesach contest.
Mm.
Yeah,
Good.
Jerry makes places questions, and when you
Uh-huh.
answer, when I answered one correctly, he gave me that.
That's cute. Very cute.
Hey, where am I? I'm there.
Okay, is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. We are in 92 Sadik Bays.
Okay.
Niske Rechele Bekama. Rechela is a young female sheep. So the question was asked, how many, we pointed out yesterday that there's no difference in sheep between younger and older sheep, only by rams, by male rams. Upashtilam Masnison, Gedim Shamish Nisketson, that they used to give like a receipt. And the receipt for a goat is the same as for a sheep. Shel Gdolim, Shel Ktanim. It didn't make a difference whether they were old or young. Shel Schor, Shel Nekevos. Chutz, Mishel Elim. The only difference was a ram above the age of 2. So there's no difference in the Nesach that's approved to what we said yesterday. Mishnah. Kol korbanos atzibur ein bem smicha. Some korbanos you have to lean on. So, for example, when a private individual brings a korban, you lean on it, right? When a person brings a shlomim or brings an ola, private, the bailim, the owner, leans on it. Now, the tzibur has no owner. Klal Yisrael is the owner. It's not so therefore, in general, the korbanei tzibur, there was no smicha. Chutz min apara bara kol mitzvahs. When Sanhedrin paskind wrong regarding something whose penalty was a chatas,
Think of something different.
then
Jimmy.
there was smicha on the part that was brought if they made a mistake. And the Sorah Mishnaleach. that the goat that is sent Lazazel on Yom Kippur, so the Kohen Gadol does smicha on that goat. That's according to Tanna Kama. Reb Shimon Oimer Av Sar Avodas Kechavim, that when Sanhedrin ruled incorrectly about something regarding Avodah Zarah, so there also the Sanhedrin has to bring what's called the Sar Avodas Kechavim. According to Reb Shimon, that is the korban that they also have to lean on that one. Kol korbanos hayochi tu'unin smicha. Just like the rule that all of the korbanei tzibur in general don't have smicha, all of the private korbanos do have smicha. Chutz min ha-bechor v'ha-meiser v'ha-pesach. Bechor is a firstborn animal that's given to the kohen, and if it's not a balmum, that you offer it as a shlomim. Meiser is the 10th if you are a producer of cattle. So once a year you put your cattle in the corral, and then you led them through a single file thing, and you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th became the Meiser. That was brought as a shlomim. Then the Pesach. Well, we know what the Pesach is. So these korbanos would not get smicha. Now, if someone donated to bring an ola or a shlomim, then they died. Hayoyresh, the heir, soymech, they bring the korban and they do smicha. U mevin esachim, and he brings wine libations. U meimar, and he makes a tmura of that animal if he so wants to. Torabana. Kol korbanos hatzibur ein b'hem smicha. There's no smicha by the korbanei tzibur. Chutz mipar bar kol ha-mitzvahs u'sirei avodas kechavim. To Reb Shimon. That's like our Mishnah. Rabbi Oimer, sirei avodas kechavim ein b'hem smicha. But mi avi tachteim sar mishtalech. He replaces the sar avodas kechavim with the sar mishtalech. I don't get it. Lo sagid lo ma'ayil. I mean, why do they need a replacement? Ravina, there's a reason why they need a replacement. Gemiri, there was a Masorah that stays smichos betzibur, that there were 2 korbanei tzibur that required smicha. So according to one, the second one is the sor mishtalech. According to the other, it's the sor avodas kechavim. So the brisa continues. Amar Reb Shimon. How could you have smicha? The law ain't smicha b'baylim. Smicha is done by the owners. And the soyer ala zazel, they do the smicha, and it therefore cannot be considered a korban tzibur to fulfill the mesorah of the 2 korbanei tzibur. Amerlo avzar uvon of miskaprim bo. It is there. They are the bailim because they get atonement by the sar mishtaleh. We'll see that the par that they bring gives them kapora for the tumas migdash udashav, for any tumadika averis. All the other averis, the Kohen gets atonement from the sar mishtaleh. So on Rav Yirmi Vazal Tamay, Rav Yud and Rav Shimon are consistent. The Tan regarding the avodas on Yom Kippur, it says the Chiperes Mikdash HaKodesh, that there's going to be atonement for the Kodesh Kadosh. Zeh lifnai v'lifnim. These are the sa'ir and the par that are offered on that the blood of both of those are brought into the Kodesh Kadoshim. So it refers to some kind of unknown tumah that the person had by going into the Kodesh Kadoshim. V'yasol moed zehechal. So the Ol Moed refers to tumah violations in the Moed, in the Kodesh. Mizbeach Kamashmo. That's Tuma problems on the Mizbeach. Yichaper Elu Azoros. That's Tuma problems in the Azara. And who gets the atonement? Kohanim, Kemashmat. Akolama Kahal Elu Yisrael. Yichaper Elu Levim. Hushvu Kula Chaparachas. Shemiskaprim B'Sor Mishlach. They all get atonement from the Sor LaZazel. Dev Rabbi Yehuda. And they get atonement for other Averis other than Tumah. And the Kohanim, according to Rabbi Yehuda, get the same thing. That's why Rabbi Yehuda can hold, not like Rabbi Shimon, that the Kohanim are bailim. They have some stake as owners. And that's why they require smicha. Well, how does Rabbi Shimon retort to that? Rabbi Shimon Oimer, Geshem Shadam So'ir Hanasa Bifnim. So in Yom Kippur, they shechted a par, and they shechted a soyer, and that blood was sprinkled in the Kodesh Kadoshim, was sprinkled on the paroches, and on the Mizbeach Hazov inside. That sprinkling of the Damas Soyer, Mechaper al Yisrael Tumas Mikdash Ukdash, that Yisraelim who committed averes regarding Tumah, the Beis Hamikdash, that's the kapar. Kach damapar. Now there was a bull that was shechted. That was also the blood was sprinkled in the Kodesh Kadoshim. Mechaper ala kohanim al tumas mikdash ukdashim. Just like the so'ir lazozel atones for tumas mikdash ukdashim for Klal Yisrael, the par atones for tumah problems. Then, when the Kohen Gadol did a vidui on the Sar Mishtalech before they sent it to the desert, and what is it for? To be mechaper for other averos other than tumah. Kach vidui shel par, the Kohen Gadol does a vidui on the par, is mechaper ala kohanim b'shar averos. So you see, it's not the Sar Lazazoel that atones for the kohanim. That's why he holds that the kohanim are not the bailim for the Sar Mishtalech, and that's why he holds they don't do the smicha, and rather they do the smicha on the Sar Lavodas Kochanim. However, comes out that there's no hushvu, there's no like Rabbi Yehuda made a statement. Hushvu, the Baraisa said hushvu kulun l'chapara achas. Right? Rabbi Shimon havade hushvu. The Baraisa has to fit Rabbi Shimon as well. In hushvu, divnei kapara ninu. They are alike in that they do get atonement, but miyu kol chad v'chad mechaper b'nefnafshei. The vehicle by which they get atonement is different. Each one has its own method. Rabbi Yehuda tumas mikdash ukdash of Yisrael mechaper b'dam Sar nasa bifnim. This is like a summary of all the opinions that for violations of tumah in the Beis Hamikdash by regular Jews, the sa'ir that is shechted, and the Kohen Gadol receives the blood and goes into the Heichal and the Kodesh Kadoshim to sprinkle, that provides the atonement. The Kohan b'par shel Aaron, the par that Aaron shechts, gives atonement for the Kohanim for Tumah. Now, Bishar Averos, what about other sins other than Tumah? Elu va'elu, both the Kohanim and the Yisraelim mechaper v'vidu Yisrael mishtalech. So that's why Rabbi Yehuda holds that the Kohanim are also bailim of the Yisrael mishtalech and can do smicha. Right? Or Rabbi Shimon, Bishar Averos nami Kohan b'vidu depar miskapri, that for non-Tumah Averos, the vidu that Aaron, that Kohen Gadol does on the par is mechaper for them. Yediktani. Echad Yisrael, ve'echad Kohanim, ve'echad Kohen Mashiach. Regular Jews, regular Kohanim, and the Kohen Gadol, they all get some kind of kapora by the Sor Lazaz. Now, Ma ben Yisrael Kohanim l'Kohen Mashiach. What's the difference? El Shadama par, the par that the Kohen Gadol shechts, Machaper al Kohanim, al Tumas Migdash Ukdash, gives atonement for violations of Tumah. Zute Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon Omer Kashem Shadam Asor Anasa Bifnim Machaper al Yisrael. The blood of the goat on Yom Kippur is Machaper for Klal Yisrael. Kach dam apar Machaper al Kohanim. And Kashem Shavidu Shel Ksora Mishnah Machaper al Yisrael. Just like the vidui over the Azazel is Machaper for Ashar Veres for Yisrael. Kach vidui Shel Par Machaper al Kohanim. But they have nothing to do with the Surah Mishtalech. Okay. Ton Rabban. The Samchu Ziknei Edis Yidel and Rosh Apar. If the Sanhedrin made a mistake, they have to do smicha on the par. Par ton smicha. And they darshan vein siravat kachavim tunin smicha, but not if they made a mistake regarding avodah zarah. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon Omer, par ton smicha b'skenim. The parlam dover does require smicha. Now, the ein surei avodas kachavim ton smicha b'skenim ela ba'aron. The sar avodah zarah requires smicha, but not by the kohanim, but by kohen. But v'riminu, I'll show you a stira. It says by the Surah Amishtalech Hachai that Aaron does vidui, or he does smicha on the live goat. Hachai ton smicha, vein seravat kachavim tunin smicha. But the goat that's brought by Sanhedrin, it does not. The Rabbi Yehuda. Rav Shimon Omer Chai ton smicha ba'aroi. The Azazel, of course, all the avodas on Yom Kippur is done by the Kohen Gadol. So the smicha on the Sor L'Mishtalech is done by the Kohen Gadol. The Ein Se'iri avodas kachavim tunin smicha ba'aron ela b'skenim. He held that the skenim do the smicha, which is a steer to the other brayso. So Rav Sheish says, "V'tizber dach kamais metartztehi." So what? You think the first brayso is correct? Hi, Amar Rabbi Shimon, smicha b'baylim be'inan. Smicha has to be done by the owners. What does the kohen have to do with the sa'ir offered by the tzibor for avodah zarah? He's not the owner for that. Ela tritzochi. A par ton smicha. The par in Kohen Gadol, the par in Yom Kippur requires smicha, but vein siravat kachavim tunin smicha. The sa'ir brought by mistake by the Sanhedrin, that does not require smicha de Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon Omer Hachai, Chai ton smicha ba'aron. The Azazel goat needs smicha by the Kohen Gadol. Vein siravat kachavim tunin smicha ba'aron ela b'skenim. Doesn't require Aaron, it requires the king. This is what Rabbi Shimon says to Rabbi Yehuda. I hold that if Sanhedrin makes a mistake regarding avodah zarah, they have to bring a sa'ir, and it requires smicha. The ishmielacha de laboy smicha. And if you heard something about that, maybe it doesn't need smicha. Yeah, you were right. But Aaron udishmielacha. It's that the Kohen doesn't have to do it, but it does require it by the Zakei. Umiyat ve'achayu, because it's a meat, only the Chai requires it, but not the Sor of his Kochav. Rav Yehuda lamali limatinu mikra. Why do I need a pasuk? V'amra Ravina Gemiri shtei smichos b'tzipor. You only need, you have a Masor that there were two smichos. And one was for the Parel and Dover Shel Tzibur, and one was for the Sor Lazazel. So you don't. So that was not the Masorah for the Sor Lavos Kachavim. So what do I need a pasuk for? Girsa ba'alma. He doesn't need it to derive it. It's just he hangs his hat on it. Rab Shimon, the boy Smicha, where does he learn from a pasuk that the Sar of a Zara requires Smicha? Nafkala miditanya. Says v'samach yado al rosh hasoir. You have to do Smicha. This is a goat that the Nasi brings if he violates something. The rabbi sir nachshel Smicha. Even the Sa'ir that was brought as a chatas by the Nesiim during the Miluim, that also required Smicha. Did Rabbi Yehuda. Reb Shimon Oimer, the rabbi sir kechavim l'smicha. That the Sa'ir brought by Saner, if they made a mistake, needs Smicha. Shai Reb Shimon Oimer, kol chatas shenichnas damam lifnim to una Smicha. Blood that goes inside the heichal, all of those require Smicha, which includes the Sa'ir Lavod Zorah. Lamali the Memra Shahaya. Why do we need this extra Shahaya, Reb Shimon Oimer? Simon above, just to remember. The Eim Asara Nasa Bifnim, maybe the Sa'ir whose blood is offered in the Kodesh Kadoshim is the one that needs Smicha. Why does Reb Shimon say that it's the Sar Lavod Zorah? Because Dumi the Sar Nasi. It has to be similar to the Sar that the Nasi brings. The Mechaper al Averis Mitzvah Yedua, it doesn't Mechaper for unknown Tumah. It Mechaper for things that you know that he did. Means he ate Chaylev. But the Sa'ir of that's done in Hanasa Bifnim is for he doesn't know that he was Tomei. Ul Ravina Damar Gemir Shtei Smichos B'Tzibur. According to Ravina, that said there was a Masorah that 2 Korbanot Tzibur needed Smicha, then Kroy Lomeli. Why in Bechlal are we searching for Psukim? We have a Masorah. So the Gemara says, Itzrich Hilchasa v'Itzrich Kroy. We need the Masorah, we need Psukim. The Mekrofa only had the Pasuk Havamina Zivchei Shalmei Tzibur. The 2 Shlomim that were brought on Shavuos, maybe I would think would also require Smicha. Over there, they asked the question, Amar Rab Shimon, Shloisha meaning to unin sholosh matzos. There are 3 types of menachos that require 3 types of matzos. That's the shlomim tzibur, which needs to alechem. You have the mitzvah zoshim, you have regular shlomim. Shloisha meaning to unin sholosh mitzvahs. Remember, we talked about waving, bringing close, and smicha. And we would have learned a kavachomer. V'yu zivchei shamei tzibur to unin smicha v'kavachomer. We could have learned that the public shlomim on Shavuos needed smicha from kavachomer. Ma'ashlam me'yochi. A private individual brings a shlomim. She'ein to unin tnufa chayim. You don't wave it while the animal's alive, only when it's dead. To unin smicha chayim, you have to do smicha when the animal's alive. Certainly the communal shlomim would require this too. So it's trechilchasa that no, we only have 2 korbanot tzibur that need smicha, excluding the kivsei shlomim on Shavuos. The imehilchasa, if I'd have only had the Masorah, so lo yadinu heiniu, we wouldn't know which are the korbanot tzibur that require smicha. So we needed the psukim to point the direction. Kamash Malan dumi desori nasi, the mechaper laveris mitzvahs yedua, that we learned from there that it can't be one of these forgetfulness averis where I forgot. Hello, you just unplugged me. You did something. You. What do you mean? Yeah. Kol korbanos hayochid tu'unin smich. Chutz mibchor meiser pesach. All private korbanos that a yachid brings require smicha, except for bechor, meiser, and pesach. Ton Rabbana. It says korbano 3 times. Korbano v'lo bechor. V'samach yado al rosh korbano. V'lo bechor. So one korbano is to exclude the bechor. Sheyachol v'aloydinu. I could have had a kavachomer. Uma shlomim shein kedushas mirechem. A regular shlomim is not holy from birth. I have to say harei zu shlomim. I have to be magdishit bepeh. It's not born holy. Uma shlomim shein kedushas mirechem tu'unin smicha. Yet it requires smicha. Bechor shekedushas mirechem eino din sheton smicha. A bechor is born holy. So mikava chomer, it should require smicha. Talmud Lomer korbanah v'lo abachor. Then it says again, korbanoi v'lo meiser. Not the 10th animal that is brought as a shlom. Again, the Gemara says, we had a kava chomer that might have included a meiser and smicha. Sheyachol v'alidinu. Uma shlomim shein mekachin lifnei malachreim. If I have an animal and I say arezu shlomim, that's it. Only one animal is miskadesh. Now we're going to learn in the Masechta Bechoros. I think that it's in Masechta Bechoros that we learn the dinim of Meiser. That if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 9, 11, so all 3. The korban before 10, the animal before 10 becomes hegdish, and the animal after 10, the 11 becomes hegdish. So, madoch shlomim, that which goes before and afterwards is not sanctified. Yet, the index shlomim needs smicha meiser shemakadosh l'fan of lachra. It has the power to provide kedusha for the animal after it and before it. Eino din sheton smicha. The pasuk gets us out of the kavachoy. Then it says korban v'loy pesach. Sheyachol v'alodinu u'mashlomim she'eino ba'amod v'have. A shlomim is brought donatively. There's no obligation to bring a shlomim. Yet to unin smicha pesach shu ba'amod v'have, you have to bring it. On the 14th of Nisan. Now, the Gemara is going to say, I could have broken all these kavah chomer. Right? Shlomim is not inferior. In fact, it's more superior because it requires wine libations, waving of the chaz v'shol. And that doesn't exist by Bechor, Meiser, and Pesach. So the Gemara says, you know what? I don't have the kavah chomer, but cry asmach de balma. We don't have the kavah chomer, and therefore we don't need a pasuk to say we don't need to do smicha. Rather, the pasuk is just an asmachta. Okay. Tomorrow we'll learn at 7:00.
Oh, yeah.
Shpeach, Ernie.